Well, we could say it was an F5 tornado that went through the Astros clubhouse as the Royals absolutely made mincemeat of the Houston Astros. I've got some eye-popping offensive numbers that will shock you. And Hunter Brown broke an MLB record today on this edition of Locked On Astros.
Jainer Diaz, this is Locked On Astros.
Hello and welcome to Locked On Astros, your daily Astros podcast. Here are your hosts, Eric the Man Huysman and Brett H-Town Wheelhouse Chancey.
We are Locked On Houston Astros, and we hope that you join us for a daily Locked On Astros podcast. My name is Eric Huysman. You can find me on X at Eric Talk Astros. You find the show at Locked On Astros, your team every day. Thank you for making Locked On Astros podcast your first listen every day. Go ahead and subscribe to us. Go ahead and make us your first listen on Apple, Odyssey, Spotify, wherever you listen to podcasts. Go and check us out, and go and check out Michael Connor on the Astros postcast as well after every game, and then check us out shortly after. But guys, go ahead and subscribe to us on YouTube, and today's episode is brought to you by FanDuel. Make every moment more. Right now, new customers get $150 in bonus bets guaranteed. That's $150, win or lose. Visit FanDuel.com/locked-on to get started today. And Brett, when you're not losing or somebody's not stealing $16 million from you, where can they find you at?
I wish I had $16 million, Eric, to steal, but I don't. You can find me at H-Town Wheelhouse on X, Instagram, and TikTok. You can find me at Astros41 on Facebook. You can find me at Back to the Bullpen on X and on Instagram as well. Look, I love the title, Royal Embarrassment. This is not the team that we thought we saw coming into the season. We knew there were holes. The only holes we really saw, despite some injuries, were the relief pitching, the bullpen. And the bullpen hasn't been the reason for these losses. Injuries, starting pitchers not being able to complete an inning, and where's my RISP for 500? I mean, that is really... That's what it's all about. RISPECT. That is what they mean to me. Respect, right? Well, we're not getting any kind of respect, but here in a second, after we talk about, I'm going to talk about the RISP. I'm going to talk about the top 10 numbers that this offense has. It's crazy. But Eric, a sweep. I thought the Astros would win 2 out of 3 after winning the last 2 in Arlington. I was wrong. And I think the fire is not in there. Is not in that clubhouse. I think there's something missing. And if this lineup doesn't get shuffled or the clubhouse doesn't get shaken up a little bit here in the near future, we may be in for a long season.
Yeah, what we're seeing that Joe Espada, based on what's going on, the situation with how many arms are being used, the starting pitcher's not going deep in game. He's running out of arms, and he's actually having to let his starters go deeper than Dusty Baker would have. And they're throwing like 40 pitches in an inning. And typically, if you have a starter throw that many pitches in an inning, that they have that rule in spring training. If you throw so many pitches in an inning, you can go ahead and they could pull you out, and then you can come back in the next inning. So what's going on is because of the issues, the lack of the starters all of a sudden going deep into games, you don't have enough arms in a bullpen. You are endangering these guys' health in the future, and that's a big issue. Well, you don't have. You have all these guys on the IL, and Joe Espada said that, or Dana Brown, one of the two, said that, no, we are not rushing Justin Verlander back. We are still committed to him pitching for the Space Cowboys. We are not going to make any rash decisions because we are now, I can't even say it, 4-10 on the season.
Yeah, look, I'm not necessarily worried about the record right now. What I'm worried about are how we got to 4-10. In that Yankees series, we should have won 3 out of 4. if we win 3 out of 4, Eric, we're talking about a team that has 7 wins, instead of 4 wins. And we're talking about a team that is we would be 7 and 7-7. We'd be 500 right now if we had 7 wins. But that's not the case. Hunter Brown, apparently, they said, was tipping pitches first game. That's why he did so terribly, from what I hear. Then was he tipping pitches again? And if guys are tipping pitches, who's not getting this? I don't like. I'm starting to not believe Brent Strom. I'm starting to actually go into the camp where I'm wondering, are these pitching coaches really doing a good job? I mean, Eric, at some point, you got to look at what the pitching coaches are giving these pitchers. Because if a guy's tipping pitches in his first outing, but then does it again in his second outing, are we not sharing that intelligence with the pitcher? Do you see what I'm saying? At some point, the pitching coaches have got to take some onus on this. Now, I know we had a couple rookie pitchers, unfortunate incidents. You can't blame that. But is there some blame to go in the area of the pitching coaches? And have we just been a victim of our own success because we've had healthy pitchers that are really good pitchers? We haven't really had to develop or work with people or work them out of things. I guess we'll know in about a month or two, because if the starting pitching, even when they get healthy, if Hunter Brown doesn't fix it, the pitching coach's job is to try to fix what's going on. Yeah. And Hunter Brown was horrible today. I mean, I feel bad for the kid because I know the kind of motor he has. I know the mentality he has. I know he cares about competing, but it is just one of those things where you're going, what does he got to do? Was he tipping pitches again? Because Eric, tell us the record that Hunter Brown set today. He set a major league record.
Yes. So apparently no pitcher, I believe it's since they started tracking records. I don't have in front of me, but since 1900 or something, but nobody has allowed 11 hits in the first and did not complete the first inning, basically. So he stayed in long enough to give up 11 hits, and that is very rare. So I'm going to the exact tweet right now, but it's just crazy how just crazy this situation is now. You have no room for error. You have everything. So it's just, I don't know what to do here. The Astros, you had Greg Kessinger pitching in the 9th inning, and Seth Martinez, we'll talk about him in a little bit, but Seth Martinez has been a blessing because he's come in some ugly games. Let me tell you, when the Astros are getting their crap beat out of them, this is what he's done. 6 innings pitched, 1 hit, 0 walks, 3 Ks. This is when the Astros are getting embarrassed. And that's what the Astros have been doing. 3 out of the last 4 games, they have been embarrassed. The first game against the Royals, it was close. It was a 43 game. But the other 3 games, I know the Astros won that games versus the Rangers, but I'm talking about starting pitching wise. Right. When your pitcher cannot go deep in the game like that, it's crazy. I know the Astros, they came back and won that game versus Rangers, but still, when your pitcher cannot even complete the first inning, then you had Hunter Brown not able to complete the first inning today, and then you had Spencer Arrighetti, who was dominant for the first 2 innings. He looks like he has some stuff, but he has some room to grow. He reflected on that. We could talk about that in a second, but there's some issues here, and it's the fact that I think the Astros were complacent a little bit. They thought that they maybe could deal without some of the relievers they let go. And nobody could have seen Justin Verlander hitting IL and everything that happened there.
Someone on here, one of the first comments was, good thing we didn't go after Jordan Montgomery. I mean, look,
yeah,
the offseason right now, as it stands, was not good, other than Josh Hader, and people would criticize that right now because he's given us some stuff. but I still think Josh Hader's a good signing. I
Right.
do think that, Presley is a declining player because of age, because they naturally do that. It's not because Presley isn't good anymore. He's just getting older and he's getting towards the end of his contract. But you know what I want to talk about, what gets me motivated about going out and saving money, Eric, is Ibotta. Let's tell our patrons about that. All right, this episode is brought to you by Ibotta. It's a free app. You can start earning cash back. Use promo code LOCKEDONMLB. Spring is sprung, and that means that spring cleaning is here. It means stocking up on your cleaning supplies or swapping out your winter clothes for your new spring clothes. Make sure you're using Ibotta and get real cash back with every purchase. This spring, flowers won't be the only thing that you're growing. When you use Ibotta, you can watch your cash grow back with every purchase that you make. Ibotta is a free app that gives you the most cash back every time you shop on hundreds of items and groceries. And who wouldn't want to shop and get money back? The average Ibotta user earns $257 per year. That could cover the cost of an entire shopping trip. That could also cover a flight, and you could go out on a fancy dinner with that money. Other apps give you points. They don't amount to much, and they can give you the money in your bank account, your PayPal, or in the way of gift cards. Join over 50 million users and earn cash back every time you shop from over 2,700 brands and retailers, including your favorite grocery stores, Lowe's, Macy's, Sephora, Best Buy, and more. So right now, Ibotta is offering our listeners $5 just for trying Ibotta by using the code LOCKEDONMLB when you register. Just go to the App Store or Google Play Store and download the free Ibotta app to start earning cash back and use the code LOCKEDONMLB. That's IBOTTA in the Google Play or App Store and use the promo code LOCKEDONMLB.
Hey guys, don't worry. The Astros are going to face two teams that are not very good right now. They're going to be facing the Rangers and the Braves. And those two teams scare me a little bit. I know the A's have been kind of giving it to the Rangers a little bit, but you could catch all the action on SiriusXM. So just go and search Astros and you can hear all the play-by-play. If you're out on the road and you can't get the local broadcast, you do that. Don't forget to check out the Locked On Astros postcast with Michael Connor as well. And go and make us your first listen on Apple, Odyssey, Spotify, wherever you listen to podcasts. Go and check out the Locked On Astros podcast and check out Locked On Sports Today. It's your first ever 24/7 streaming platform out there where you could actually watch on Amazon Fire TV. So you can watch Brett and me get mad and start yelling at everything, throwing Jabu across the room, everything on Amazon Fire TV.
So I don't know if you saw this on the broadcast. You know how they do Name That Astro? Look at this Name That Astro. It says, has stolen $58 million, former MVP, can't field his position or hit. Name that Astro.
Seriously? This was this is made up, Eric. You fell for it. No, this is not real. No, this was from Space City Sports. This is hilarious. Look at that. Has stolen $58 million, former MVP, but you can't see that part. Can't field or hit. Oh my gosh, I am so done and so out on Jose Abreu. I want so much for this guy. He's a good dude. He's a good baseball guy. He's got the tenure. I don't want to hear about the back of his baseball card again. But this has created just a weird conversation. Whose fault is it? Is it the lineup construction? Is it having someone like Abreu in the lineup? Is it because we didn't go out and get another bat? Should we go out and get Brandon Belt? Should we sit Abreu? Should we DFA him? Should we bench him? I mean, what do we do? Because Eric, this team has bats. And look, I want to sympathize or empathize with some of these people that say Jordan shouldn't be hitting in the 2-hole. And I think I may come up with an argument of why he should not be hitting in the 2-hole. I think the main reason is, Eric, he's the only guy producing. So if he's the only guy producing, if you could put him in the 3 or 4 hole, he might have more opportunities to drive in runners rather than nobody being on base, or just Altuve being on base who might get picked off by a throw. But Eric, have you seen these numbers? Have you seen our rankings of our offensive numbers? No, not recently.
So real quick, I'm going to share this with you. Then I want to get your thoughts on maybe shaking up this lineup a little bit. Okay, in hits, we are first in This is all AL numbers. We have 130 hits. This is after today, ranked number 1. Doubles, ranked number 1 with 26. OPS, ranked 3rd, 752. Batting average, 267, ranked 2nd behind the Rangers. RBI, 55, ranked 7th. On-base percentage, 331, 4th. Slugging percentage, 421, ranked 2nd. But with runners in scoring position, Eric.
Show me the RISP.
We are 9 for 43. We are 9 for 43 with runners in scoring position. That is the problem. We get runners on. We have so many hits. I mean, go look at, 130 hits. We actually, I didn't even put this up there. We lead in home runs. Like, we got to do something different, kids. Everybody's like, it's Joe Espada's fault. Hold up. Last year when people were blaming Dusty, you're like, it's not Dusty's fault. It's the player's fault. But now that the truthers don't have Dusty anymore. Now they were like, oh, see Espada. We thought your guy Espada was better. And this whole sniping back and forth, like, we got to stop this bullcrap. Like, one of the things we're not going to do on the show is we're not going to snipe back and forth with you guys on the show. Like, you have your opinions. I think the Yordan Alvarez moving down makes sense in the fact that he's the only one producing. But what do you think, Eric? What else kind of shaking up do you think needs to happen in this lineup?
I don't really think that moving him down is going to do a lot. Okay. I think that there needs to be more consistency up and down the lineup. And like, even when they drop down Abreu to the 8th hole, what happens? More runners get on base in front of him, and then he's still struggling. And so baseball is going to find you. If you are struggling, of course, the baseball is going to find you. The situation is going to find you. It doesn't matter where you are. With that being said, I get people's thinking about, okay, you need to have Alvarez batting 4th or 3rd because he's going to drive in more runners. But at this point, he's getting on base at a great clip right now, and he's given the Astros a chance to drive him in. But it's nobody's taking that opportunity. And I know that a lot of people out there are saying, well, you don't put your best hitter hitting second. And I know that you did some research before the show that a lot of, and we talked about Shohei Ohtani, and we need to talk about Shohei Ohtani and
Yeah. So here are the teams that bat their best hitter second: Rangers, Orioles, Phillies, Seattle, Toronto, Dodgers, Twins, Diamondbacks. And I'll stop there. So stop with this. Oh, we're the only team. The Seattle Mariners bat Julio Rodriguez second. He is the top candidate right now for MVP this season. He is one of the best young hitters in the game. And yeah, I know Mookie Betts leads off, but Shohei Ohtani for the last few years has been considered a surefire bet. Well, I'm sorry, did I say that? He has been the guy that you would want to bat second. And so batting your best batter, Seager bats second. I mean, these guys, the best guys in their lineup, Trey Turner, the best contact hitter in Philadelphia, bats second. So we're not doing anything different. We're just not producing the freaking runs. I mean, look, Singleton today, he had 2 walks. I'll take 2 walks, but nobody's driving runners in. So now you're like, Singleton's like, hey, I'm here. I'm participating. I'm on the team. I'm on base. Who's going to freaking knock me in? Absolutely nobody. But you know what we need to start watching, Eric?
He had a double too.
Okay. He did have a hit. So Pedro Leon, did you know that he started hitting line drives? Did you know Pedro Leon is starting to figure it out in AAA? Mm-hmm. If Pedro, you remember what Mr. Elvis Rodriguez said about Pedro Leon, that he is a 5-tool player. If he figures out the hit tool, that he will start hitting the ball. He went 4 for 5 yesterday, a run, 2 doubles, 2 RBI. And if he can develop that right there is your starting center fielder, folks. If that kid can figure out how to hit, I'm sorry, Jake. I'm sorry, Chaz. Pedro Leon's a much better defender, much better thrower from the center field. We actually get to try to throw runners out on the bases when they're going after a hit. We need Pedro Leon to get up here. Pedro Leon may actually come up before Joey Loperfido.
Yeah, so I know that a lot of people have been complaining about Jake Myers as well. So it's not just him. There's just not consistency. Like one day, Bregman will have a good day, and then somebody around him will not have a good day. So it's just Joe Espada is trying to do the best to kind of situate, to put the people in the best situations to succeed. And no matter what he does, it just that player just decides, not decides, but just happens to have a bad day. And Diaz had his third home run today. And I know that Altuve had the 3-hit day. Diaz had a 2-hit day. So those guys are doing pretty good. Singleton actually had 108-mile-per-hour double late in the game. I think it was a ninth inning with 2 outs. So it was a pretty hard hit ball, but overall, that's probably the hardest hit he's had all season. So I know there's a lot to be desired from the offense. And somebody said due to pitching in a second. So I'll go ahead and talk to you about pitching in a second. But thank gosh we have Seth Martinez, because he has saved the Astros so many times. And we'll go ahead and continue this conversation in a second.
Yeah, this episode is brought to you by FanDuel. FanDuel is America's #1 sports book, and they are here. They want you to use the promo code Locked On today. It's playoff time in the NBA and NHL, and baseball's in full swing. Well, if you're the Astros, it's in full swing and miss, but FanDuel is your place to bet on every single game. Right now, new customers get $150 in bonus bets guaranteed. That's $150 win or lose. So if you bet for the Astros to take at least one of 3 from the Royals and you lost, you still got $150 back. So that's not bad. Maybe you win when we lose, and so on and so forth. Bet on everything from slap shots to home runs to slam dunks, all on the app that's safe, secure, and easy to use. What are you waiting for? Visit FanDuel.com/locked on and make your first bet an automatic win, just like when the Astros come back home to play the Rangers. FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook. And this episode is also brought to you by LinkedIn, linkedin.com/locked on. I want to tell you about LinkedIn Sales Navigator. Are you struggling to close deals? Are you not hitting with runners in scoring position? Business to business selling is tougher than ever, just like the Astros offense. But that's why we want to tell you about LinkedIn Sales Navigator. Maybe they need to get hooked up with this. It is a sales intelligence platform that helps professionals effectively prospect and engage high-value customers, drive higher revenue, and increase sales performance. Sales Navigator helps you target the right buyers, surface key signals such as job changes or which accounts you should prioritize, and shows you hidden allies so you can find those buyers that are most likely to convert. Fueled by LinkedIn's 1 billion member platform, Sales Navigator gives you the most up-to-date first-party data, enabling you to unlock conversations with people that matter. So right now, you can try LinkedIn Sales Navigator and get a 60-day free trial at linkedin.com/locked on. That's linkedin.com/locked on for a 60-day free trial. Let LinkedIn Sales Navigator help you sell like a superstar today. Just go to linkedin.com/locked on and get started today.
Hey guys, thank you for making the Locked On Astros podcast your first listen every day. We got 138 people watching live. We've already had a whole bunch of other people listen. So go ahead and make us your first listen on Apple, Odyssey, Spotify, wherever you listen to your podcast. But go ahead and check out the Locked On Astros postcast as well with Michael Connor right after the game, every game. Instant reaction will be on slightly after that. But go and check out Locked On Sports Today, 24/7 Sports. I'm sure you're going to hear all about the Shohei Ohtani and Ippei news. And it's getting very juicy. And apparently Ippei lied about that. So it's streaming on YouTube, Amazon Fire TV.
I don't know who to believe. I just don't see how $60,000 escapes your account for 3 years, and even the accountant didn't know. Oh, come on, guys. Look, let's just be honest.
It got lost in translation.
Good one. Ayo. So seriously, if Shohei Ohtani was not the golden boy of Major League Baseball, this dude takes the fall. There's no way. And there are people, there's a burner called MLB executive burner, and everybody assumes that it's an actual former MLB executive, which nobody knows who it is. But he basically says you possibly got collusion between the FBI, Major League Baseball, the U.S. Attorney General's office. I mean, he's basically clumped all these major organizations in as this big collusion deal to cover up for Shohei Ohtani and Ippei taking the fall. It's messed up, man. It is just not a good situation, and it's going to be a cloud hanging over Ohtani. You wonder over the course of the season, how it's going to affect him, and if we will ever find out the truth. I don't know. But Eric, there's been some people asking, like, is Hunter Brown going to make a stint in the minor leagues if he keeps struggling like this? I mean, he still has options. He could still do that. And is Seth Martinez a guy that they want to stretch out and try to give more innings and eventually convert to a starter or an opener before Hunter Brown? That might be a strategy. You could go Seth Martinez, then Hunter Brown. You could piggyback. We could do some hybrid Tampa Bay Rays kind of stuff. We might have to do that,
Yeah. But going back to Ippei real quick, apparently the FBI has said that he made about 19,000 bets. The average bet, this is exactly right down your alley. You ready? $12,800. So the average bet that's what he's going to make. So the total losing bets, $182.9 million. Total winning bets, $142 million. So his net losses was $40.7 million. So all that money he was making for being an interpreter went to betting. All that, then he probably needed the extra 16 million. That's what it was. And that's what he said. And that Bob Nightingale said that he stole $16 million from Ohtani's bank to pay gambling debts, according to the complaints. So we'll probably never know the whole truth. I know, but that's what they're saying.
So Eric, I'm gonna ask you this. I'm gonna actually retweet this for Patrick. Patrick Crichton. He just posted a poll, and we're talking about first base. That's very much in line with what we're talking about. So he has a poll. What should the Astros do? Okay, he said sign Brandon Belt, who's out there, trade for Luis Ariz. Okay, he's just throwing out options. Get Dubon and Caratini to share first base, or just be patient with Abreu. I think the Astros are going to be patient with Abreu, but there's a lot of criticism coming all over the place from people that don't usually criticize him. And then I loved Robert Flores's tweet today. And the Astros return home. The Astros play the Rangers and the Braves, and the worst part is they return home to play them. It's like, oh man, the news is still out about us and our home woes. I mean, I'm supposed to be going to the game tomorrow night, but I'm really considering not going. Maybe I just need to rest. I'm going to wear my Biggio jersey, the one I wore when Brunel Blanco threw the no-hitter, and I'll wear my new Astros hat that I'm wearing right now. So maybe that'll bring us some good luck, but I don't think the luckiest jersey is going to do it. The players on the field are going to have to perform.
I needed some type of good luck, so I went ahead and wore my Justin Verlander 2017 jersey for this show. I'm just like, I need something to feel good about, because this team has been unwatchable. Like, I was at school today and I got this notification that the Astros were down 9-0 in the first inning.
Oh, I saw that.
I'm like, what the heck is what?
Well,
and
I flipped it to the Masters because I had it on my phone. I was in my conference and I was like, oh, cool, the Masters. And I was like, wait, I feel like the Astros are on. And then I got a notification. I'm like, oh, I'm going to keep watching the Masters. And so I watched Tiger and them tee off. And
yeah.
Wow.
So I know that the Astros, they're in a kind of a pickle right now because they are missing 5 of their best starting pitchers. I know 2 of them are not due back until later. I know that Luis Garcia is about to start playing catch. I know Framber Valdez is feeling better and he's about to start playing catch. So again, to kind of start working back. I know that we don't know what's going on with Lance McCullers, but he should be back at some point. But the Astros desperately need Justin Verlander back. But he is not the be all end all. He's not going to fix it all. But maybe the leadership of him being back with the team will help. And I've talked to a lot of people. I've heard a lot of people on social media say that this team may be lacking a leader. And you don't like Altuve is a
Hey.
leader, but he's a little bit different of a type of leader.
Let's change the phrasing. We are lacking a leader. Because
Right.
who was the leader? And we talked about this. It was Martin Maldonado. You talk to anybody that's in the press that covered the team, that knows the pulse inside the locker room, Martin Maldonado, because I said that. I said he was a leader, and I was corrected by two different newscasters. They said, no, the leader. And that's what people don't understand. As much shade as y'all want to throw at Maldy, as much y'all want to make fun of everybody in Chicago saying the same things we were saying last year, he was a leader. He would get up in your, get up in your ASS, and he would tell you got to put this crap together. And even though he was bunk on the field in that locker room, he held it together. He was the leader in that clubhouse. And I've had people tell me that I'm full of crap. And I'm telling you, I know that for a fact that he was a leader. When you lose him, when you lose a leader like that, it takes a toll on a team. I don't care how many titles you have. So the Astros are going to have to dig themselves up out of this pit. Nobody can help them but the Astros. You can trade for a rise. You can get Belt. You can go get anybody else you want. But until the clubhouse, the current state of the Astros doesn't change within the clubhouse, nothing's going to change.
Right. So the Astros will be sending out JP France. The Rangers be sending out Dane Dunning. So this will be an interesting matchup. JP France has got to go out there. He's got to pitch some innings. So it'll be it's undecided at this moment if the Astros will send somebody down to bring up a fresh arm because they desperately need it. So that's all we got for this edition of the Locked On Astros podcast. Maybe we'll have some more positive thoughts tomorrow. But for right now, the Astros are 4-10. There's still a long way to go, but they're still 4-10. So my name's Eric Huysman. He is Brett Chancey. We are the Locked On Astros podcast, and go Astros.
Whoa, it's the sun.